Hello! Today we will be talking about tips for registration as you select your courses for next semester. The perfect schedule. First of all, be flexible. 8:30 a.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. classes are realistic. Friday classes are realistic. Try something new and keep an open mind. Consider adding an elective, as an elective course may go towards your hours outside of business and your overall 128 hours needed to graduate. Remember, electives are good for you. More tips include the following. Use all 5 weekdays. Don't schedule all of your classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or all on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That would be too much in one day. Consider the distance in between buildings. Don't rush from the Farmer School of Business to the Recreation Sports Center in 10 minutes. You don't want to be out of breath for your next class. Finally, make sure that you are registering for classes on the Oxford campus. You don't want to have to commute from the Oxford to Luxembourg campuses every day. Select Oxford when looking up classes to add in Bannerweb. Registration logistics. In order to be well prepared for registration, make sure that you meet with your academic advisor to discuss the courses that make sense for you to take next semester. Also, research class dates and times prior to your registration date. However, remember to be flexible, as you may not get your first section preference for all courses. Have 3 backup options for each course so that you can easily exchange one course for another if all sections are full. Finally, use the academic planning worksheet and schedule grid attached to the email you received with this video. These worksheets will help you to create a schedule and select alternate courses, as well as visualize when your classes will be throughout the week and when you can make time to study and engage in extracurricular activities before and after your classes. More tips include the following. Check for and resolve holds on your account in advance. You can view your holds by going to Bannerweb, clicking on Student Services and Financial Aid, then clicking on Student Records, then clicking on View Holds. Wake up early. Set that alarm clock. Every 10 minutes, more and more students have their time tickets to register unlocked. The closer to your time ticket that you register, the better. Check course availability in advance. Keep in mind that courses may have a few more seats released on the morning that you register. However, make sure that you have a list of backup courses in case your first options are full. Also, make sure that the course you would like to take is actually being offered next semester. You can look up courses in Bannerweb through the Look Up Classes to Add function. Search by attribute. This is a very useful function of the Look Up Classes to Add feature in Bannerweb. For example, perhaps you need a Global Miami Plan Fine Arts course and you want to know which fine arts courses are being offered during the spring semester. In Bannerweb, make sure you're at the Student Services and Financial Aid tab, then click on Registration, click on Look Up Classes to Add, then search by term Spring Semester 2015-2016 and click Submit. Here you can select all subjects by clicking, dragging, and dropping the mouse over all subjects. Be sure to select the Oxford campus, and then under Attribute Type, select FND-Fine Arts. FND stands for Foundation, as in the Global Miami Plan Foundations. Click Section Search. We are now at a page that lists all fine arts courses being offered during spring semester 2016. If you do all of your registration homework in advance by looking up specific course sections that you would like to add, you could register in as little as 1 minute on the morning of registration. This is called registering using the course reference numbers, or CRNs. The CRN of a course section can be found when looking up classes to add. It is usually a 5-digit number. For example, when looking up Accountancy 221, You will note that the 8:30 a.m. section that meets on Wednesdays and Fridays has a different CRN than that Accountancy 221 section that meets at 10 a.m. or the one that meets at 11:30 a.m. The CRN for the 8:30 a.m. section is 72854. Write down the CRN for the section of each course that you would like to add to your spring semester schedule. Then, on the morning of registration, click on Registration Change of Schedule on the registration menu of Bannerweb. There, you will find cell boxes where you can type in the CRNs of each course you would like to add. Type each CRN in a separate box, then click Register. Be sure that you did not receive any error messages, and all courses should appear at the top of the page. This confirms that you web registered for the course. If you prefer to add courses through the Look Up Classes to Add feature, you can still search for classes one by one. Then you'll select the checkbox to the left of the course section you would like to add and click Register at the bottom of the page. You can go to the Registration Change of Schedule feature or the Student Schedule by Day and Time feature to confirm that you are registered for courses. Registration Help. Surprise! You can register on your own computer from your residence hall room. No need to come to a specific classroom as you did during orientation. If you encounter challenges on the morning of registration, remember the following. Use your backup options, be flexible, consider alternatives, and use Bannerweb to search for other choices. If you have questions or concerns the morning of registration, come to 1022 FSB from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. for walk-in advising. Call FSB Student Services at 513-529-1712. And for questions about holds, call the One Stop at 513-529-0001. Happy registering! We hope that you found the information in this video useful. For more academic advising tips, connect with the Farmers School of Business on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We regularly send out updates and reminders regarding deadlines, resources, and workshops that are important for your academic success. Have a great day!